Hey everybody. So recently I've been making my own mod pack. I've been making my own mod. It's called Fissure. It's through the um M Creator, and it's okay. I mean, it's not fantastic or anything. I pretty much wanted to know what goes into making a mod pack, so I decided I wanted to like actually try to like do it. So I made a small mod pack, and holy crap! And I already showed it off in a spotlight, but that's besides the point. Right now, I started a series where I don't talk. I turn off the mic and I just play until I'm just playing the whole series, without having any sound in the background. And I literally just started playing this. I just decided to record, and all of a sudden it's gonna lag. How annoying! But this is just pretty much a random video to explain a little bit about what I'm trying to do. And well, of course it's gonna lag and try to get on my nerves, but um, that's nothing new. So I'm working on in my quiet time series that I'm doing. I took over this here village where I kind of just like killed everybody, but I left all the buildings standing and stuff because I was thinking I wanted to get into ancient warfare more. So I started building this, and they have their little shrine in the middle, and I built this with the slime trees on top, and all the existing buildings here were pretty much already here except for the wall itself, and the towers, and the giant wallfish. But the series I was doing where I don't like talk or anything, it's kind of hard to explain the stuff that I'm doing if I don't talk. So I decided to throw this little video in, and it's not going to be with the main series. I'm going to put it on the side because I ran into like something really bizarre and annoying, and I can't figure out what to do about it. Um, so all the buildings were everything that's here was already here. Um, I updated the inside of the houses a little bit, like instead of having like two beds side by side and another bed, and then like two chests in this corner and two crafting tables. There's a crafting table, a furnace, a chest, two beds, and one dead. That thing is dead. Dead. But I updated all the houses that way. Oh, so if my sword is charged up and it has the electrums charged, it turns these guys into this. Like they were hit by lightning, which I thought was super cool. But anyways, so why can't I? Oh, my inventory is like jam packed. So I didn't go into creative mode for any of this. I've been doing it all um, by hand, and I'm pretty impressed with how it's turning out. But like I said, the buildings were already here. The wishing well, I pretty much ripped it all apart, put a new one in. That's one thing that was custom made. And there's bedrock down there. Like, we're at Y71, and that level right there is bedrock. So they must have put it in for the bottom of this. I don't really know, but it's there, so yeah. I have these towers set up. These two are more or less just lookout towers. I plan to put like ballistas or something in them. These are the farms. I'm gonna have potatoes, carrots, pigs, and then on the other side, I'm gonna have wheat, chickens, cow, and sheep. Because wheat feeds those three, and carrots feed the pigs. So we're gonna do it Figured that'd be a cool way of doing it. I'm building an entire village for Ancient Warfare. If, you know, that's what's going on here. So, this is going to be like a ballista or a trebuchet or something. And then this will be some fancy weapon. But, and then this over there is going to have 3 weapons on it. And the one over on that is going to have 3 weapons on it. And I'm going to add some chests and stuff and, you know, things here and there to spruce it up a little bit. Like, these are those cool little Chinese ladder trapdoors that you can climb up from open blocks. So I got those. These are from Ancient Warfare, but I just stole them from the actual village itself. Interesting. But the big weird thing, I'm not doing anything in actual gameplay because I'm still in the middle of the series, and I'm just going to come in and be like, you know, here's what I did, check it out. But I'm not actually doing anything at my main base or progressing at all. I think the only thing I did was, besides wrangling up the materials and cutting down things around here and killing what I absolutely had to, was I got a couple new pets. I got the light IO ray, which you can't really see them down there, but I seen them and, you know, they're kind of rare, so I had to get them. And I got a violet wildkin, which is, I like these wildkin guys, so I saw a violet one, I was like, gotta have it. So I did that, and then I got, I upgraded my furnace to the Electrum furnace. And that's pretty much all I did as far as off-camera quiet time series. But now the big reason I started this episode, and it's going to be a short one because this lag is pathetic and annoying, but, you know, but there's a lot of things that are pathetic and annoying. So the one thing that I don't get, that I can't figure out what went wrong, is this wall from there, from this red rock here, from this demon stone here to that demon stone down there, and then bridge the gap, and then that first demon stone to the next demon stone down there is a different number of blocks. So there's like one more block. Like that wall is one longer than this one, which it should be impossible. It should literally be impossible. So I took the building gadget and I ran beams from this corner to that corner, and they lined up perfect. From this gap to that gap on both sides, they lined up perfect. From the center of this one to this one, they lined up perfect. And then from this to that, which is a little bit, from this one to that one, which is a little bit more complicated because they're different corners, but they lined up pretty good because the ladder that goes through the center of that lines up with one space to the left of the ladder on the back wall in here on both sides. So everything's perfectly square. This wall lines up with that 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 wall. All these here openings I'm going to put drawbridges or doors in are 15 wide. So this is a perfect square. Well, not a perfect rectangle. Like if I just shot all these walls straight out till they touch each other, it'd all be a 90-degree angle. There'd be nothing messed up. I counted all the blocks on these and all the blocks on those, and everything is completely even and square. So I do not know how this wall could be longer than the other one, because these ones line up, like this to here lines up. This center block here to the center block over there lines up, and then this block to that block lines up. And now any one of those blocks line up with any one of those blocks on the corresponding side. So that doesn't make any sense to me. If I take out one of these rows of blocks here, one of these columns, it'll have to move this over one, which would mess up the doorways, wouldn't be 15 by 15. So if you think about a grid pattern and you lay lines, like you'd lay a line across this wall, lay a line across that wall, across that wall, across this wall, and then lay a line across each one of these blocks here, everyone would be perfect. That line to that over there, to here to there, this one to that one, and then all four around, and then all three of those door gates. So you'd have a plus sign and a square. It'd be completely 90 degrees, perfect angles. And I literally just spent a half an hour counting all these little blocks, trying to figure out what went wrong. And there is definitely a flaw, but unless I'm missing something, it's impossible for there to be a flaw. So there's something wrong, even though it's impossible for something to be wrong. If that makes sense. In other words, I'm overlooking something. There's something I'm overlooking. And it can't be with this. The only thing I can think is whatever mistake I made, I did it on like both sides. Well, I couldn't have, because these work out. This wall and this wall is a perfectly the same length. So if that was the case, if it was a mistake inside the building, I would have carried it across from here to that one. But I couldn't have, because if I did, one of these walls would have been messed up too. Because if one of those buildings were wrong, this gap would have still been 15, so it still would have been wrong. So I don't know. I just can't figure it out, and I'm just so annoyed. I decided I'd just shoot a little video to, I don't know, have you guys share my frustrations. So you see, there are 6 torches, all separated by 5 blocks, but there's 1 block left over on the end there. Man, this lag is freaking annoying. And then you got 6 torches, and then there's 1 block, or 2 blocks over here. So there's 1 extra block on this wall. And I counted it so many times that I had to have overlooked it, who knows, like 1,000 times. And that's just, I don't even understand. But, so, there's 1 block too many here. But yet, everything lines up. It's 15 straight across, straight across. Now here's 4, with 5 blocks between each one, perfectly spaced. And if you go over here, there's 4, 5 blocks apart, perfectly spaced. And then so on and so forth. Everything else is perfect. There's 5, perfectly spaced. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with 5 left over. Am I right? Yeah, 5 left over. So there's 5 left over with 6 torches. And then over here is 5 torches perfectly spaced, just like I said. And then over here, 4 torches perfectly spaced. And, you know, there it is, bingo, you know. Now, I had to move a row of blocks here that were messed up. But I found the mistake, so I knew there was a mistake there, so I figured it out. But now, what this other mistake is beyond me. Maybe I should take the coordinates of these blocks and test them on the opposite side, but I'm telling you, it's gotta be right. So why, no, Z5 551. That could be a problem. Is that wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's right. 551, 559, and 566 should be 567. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 559. Okay, yeah. So 559, 551, 551, 559, 567. 551, 559, 567. Now watch, lag like 6 times on the way over. Come on. You gonna call me a liar? No, there's one. It doesn't bother me when it lags and it keeps lagging. It bothers me when it lags exactly when I decide to shoot an episode. This is the first episode I shot in 2 days. And I barely had any trouble at all. And then all of a sudden, now it's, lagging. So 567, 559, 551. Yeah, see, it's all square. All of these are even. Every one of them's even. So I don't know how there could be an extra row there. Like there's something wrong. I'm gonna have to I don't know, headbutt a wall a couple of times. Nothing bothers me more than when there is definitely a problem, but it's so unlikely that I can't figure out what caused it or what the solution is. Like, it just makes me so upset. Like, you don't even know how angry. Like, I sound calm, and if you were to talk to me in person right now, I'm calm. But on the inside, I am, boiling. I am, cursing and, trying to figure out who I can blame for this so I can take my anger out on somebody. Because I know it's just Minecraft. I know it's just a game. I know it's, simple and stupid. But there is no way that wall can have an extra block. There is no way. It is impossible for that wall to have an extra row. These two buildings are identical. All doorways are identical. I had the hand build each one, so there could be a mistake, but I counted all the blocks. I counted, everything. I counted everything. There's 1, 3, 3, 2, and then another 1 and another 1, I think. I counted it from the outside, but I counted them all, and the buildings are, identical. So these are identical. That's identical. Both of these buildings are identical. All of these walls are identical, except for that one. Except that one has 1 extra row. Can anyone tell me how it's possible? It's just not. There's no way. There's just no way. This whole village is completely flat. Completely flat, except for that thing's built on a little mound. But everything else is completely flat. So there's no, I don't have to, figure out, if I'm doing anything on an angle. I built it a nice, even square. I wanted to do, a 16-pointed, thing around the village. But I was like, nah, that's too complicated if I'm going to do it in survival. I'm just going to make a big square and put outposts on the corners. Nice and easy. Well, rectangle, but you get my point. Some shape with 4 90-degree angles. So I didn't have to sit and figure out all kinds of crap, because I ain't doing no, world edit or anything. I'm building everything by hand, so it's got to be, gotta keep it as simple as possible. Nothing too, I'm not going to go, a bunch of stairs. Just going to, try to use the blocks I have and try to make it the way I can, and it's going to be great. Now this is just like, you present me with a problem that there is no solution. The only thing I could really do is pick this corner or that corner, completely demolish it and rebuild it, and try to figure out what went wrong. Because this gap is right. This is right. I can't move this. These 4 gaps are the simplest thing in the whole thing. And they are 15 across, and they are completely parallel to each other. Exactly the way I want it. So the only thing that could be wrong is one of these buildings have some sort of design flaw which I can't figure out. Because I counted everything. It's an exact replica. So I don't know how it can have an extra block. Like, if I move this building in one, it's gonna throw off that wall. This wall here. If I move this building in one, it's gonna throw off that wall. So it just can't do it. It's just not possible. If anybody has any ideas, which I'm gonna just let it go because I can't fix it, and I'm not gonna rip down the entire building to fix one block. So I gotta just let it go. But if any of you guys can be like, hey, you're a moron, this is what went wrong, I would highly appreciate it, because I really have no freaking idea. Like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, maybe if I pop into creative mode and I fly around and get a better perspective and look around everywhere, maybe I can see something that I'm missing, but I just don't think it's possible. Like, this bottom half is an exact replica of that bottom half. I didn't check the whole top half, but the top half doesn't interact with the wall. The top half shouldn't have anything to do with it. So it has to be something in this bottom section that's either making this one shorter or one high or one long, or making the other one longer. And then I'd have to figure out which one it is. Well, I guess it really wouldn't matter because it's only going to affect this particular block here. So it's going to move all this over one, maybe over and back one, and I'll move all that in and up one. But that's just too much. It's too much for me to try to fix. You guys will know there's a mistake there. I'll know there's a mistake there, and it's gonna tick me off to no end. I swear, I'll be very, like, this is gonna bother me every single day for the rest of my life until I figure out what's wrong with it, or until, you know, I get sick of Minecraft again and I take a break. But it's gonna bother me as long as I play this world, because I know that there shouldn't be a mistake there, because I spent so much time and effort, and there's no way there couldn't be a mistake, but there is, and it's gonna bother me. It's like, it's like trying to say 2 + 2 = fish. You know, it doesn't happen. It does not. You can't do it that way. But somehow, some way, you know, it happened anyway. Well, that's interesting. How did that happen? I just built this, so I don't know how that happened. Now, I bet we'll find that in a couple of places. The building gadget seems to glitch out every once in a while. But there's that. And you can see, like, it's completely identical. After I fly around one more time, I'm going to call it quits. And then we'll end this episode, and I'll put this in a special folder somewhere. But I can't play with this stupid ass lag. So you can see the roof there. It has 4 points on one side, 3 points on the other. And the spruce slabs, you got 4 points and 3 points, and it looks like a really cool looking, like a really simple Minecraft seashell. So if you look over here, you got 4 points and 3 points, and it looks like a kind of really cool, like simple Minecraft seashell. So the top of the buildings came out right. And I just built that one this morning, and then I just built these later on today. So, I mean, it's not like I've been spending like weeks of time in between. So, it's got to be. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Take a nice little look over real quick so you guys can all be like, oh, there it is, you're an idiot. There's the mistake. You see there's a 1, a 1, 2, 2 3s, and a 1. So 1 1 2 3 3 1. You come over here, this is the same wall. So if you approach this wall from the opposite side, you got a 1 1 2 3 3 1. So it's not like I added an extra row somewhere that I missed. So I mean I don't get it. Don't get it, but I'm one little flyover yet. So you guys can see the amazingness of my build. And if you could tell me somehow how these two things could be 15, this gap could be 15 on both sides, completely parallel, and these two buildings could be identical, but yet there's an extra block on one of these sides. The only thing I could be possibly, no, I mean, it has to be on this side. I was thinking, like, you know what, I was like, maybe there isn't, well, that's not true. There could be that I messed up somewhere over here, and there's an extra block on this side, too. Like, there's one more block in here somewhere, and I just built this out one too far. It doesn't look like it, but it's possible. So, there could be that there's a flaw on both sides, and this wall is one longer, this wall's one longer too. And it's just that I built this building wrong or something. But I really don't think so. The only thing I know is there can't be one extra block here. Like, there can't be one extra column or one less column, scientifically. Like, there's no mathematic or, you know, alternate dimension, there's a POC dimension extra column that just popped up somewhere. I don't even know. But, well, I hope you guys like my build. I hope you guys think it's pretty cool. Most of these buildings are pretty much already here. I did do some alterations with this little like altar park worship area. I did change out the fence windows for clear glass windows. I rearranged all the farms are different. The wishing well I built from the ground up, and the entire wall I built from the ground up, which that's why there's a mistake, because I built it from the ground up by myself. Now, I'm actually a pretty good builder, so I don't really understand, but yeah. I replaced this roof from dirt and spruce trees to slime, dirt, and slime trees. And I put blue ones in the middle, followed by orange ones, followed by purple ones, just because, no particular reason other than the fact that I had more purple ones than I had orange ones, and more orange ones than blue ones, so it just made sense to do it that way. I kind of pretty much rebuilt the smithy place from scratch. I mean, kind of. It's generally the same size, and I did a lot of replacement. I pretty much, but this here building gadget, the replacement gadget, doesn't work with those tinker blocks for whatever reason. So I had to manually do it, but I pretty much just made the smithy shop the same as it was. I changed the inside of this building quite a bit, and I didn't do much in there yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to change that roof. I think it's ugly. I don't like the way it looks. I think I'm going to completely take off these from this row up and add a second story, maybe with an elevator. I'm not really sure, and I gotta figure out a space to build a warehouse, because we need a warehouse to store the different stuff these guys are getting, which will probably be back there. It's the only place that I have a big open area left. And then when I get back into my actual series, I'm gonna make, you know, workers and couriers and guards and ballistas and giant metal gates and stuff like that. So it'll be a cool little experience, because I always thought Ancient Warfare was super awesome, but I never really got into it. Like, besides the fact of making sure I had a quarry and and like a tree farm and stuff. And if you guys watch my other series, you remember that, like, this roof used to be oak wood. I turned it into shadowstone, because I think, you know, and I changed the layout of it. I think shadowstone looks cooler. I took all the furnaces and junk that were in here, put them in the wall with some crafting tables. I replaced this with seared stone pavers, some crafting tables, and some fire pits. And I got put 5 beds on each side. And I'll probably build some sort of like tables and stuff at some point, but I don't want to get too crazy with that kind of stuff, because you'll see the AIs in Ancient Warfare, they just love getting stuck in tables. 2 things you can guarantee to count an AI from Ancient Warfare to do is get stuck in tables and chairs, and always try to find a way to get to the nether. The AIs, they're just like, the first time I ever played with these guys, no matter what I did, no matter how many fences I put up, they somehow figured out a way to get to my nether portal and go to the nether. Luckily, they rarely actually died. They were hard to find sometimes, but they rarely actually died. So that was a good thing. But you know, I didn't want them to go to the nether, but they figured it out somehow. So, yep, I'm gonna get going, because if this lag doesn't stop or I can't figure out that wall problem, I'm gonna throw the computer out the window. Which would probably be the best thing I could probably do, other than the fact that I'll really be bored then. More bored. But this thing's a piece of garbage, and it can't even run Minecraft on its lowest visual settings and record at the same time without having a catastrophic meltdown. So, thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time.